I told you to stay away!
Hello everyone, this is HTJ Halloween, and today I am back to discuss with you guys the demonic Dahlia. But before I get into that, I do first just want to shout out my Instagram at HTJ_Halloween. If you want to get some more content from me on a more regular basis and some behind the scenes stuff, then definitely go ahead and check my Instagram out. There will be a link down in the description. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because we are deep in the sneak peek season, and that means that the next stage is going to be all of those prop videos and tours of Spirit Halloween, and that is absolutely right around the corner, and I cannot wait to jump into all of that. But this should be my last sneak peek video, hopefully, that is in this old format of the scrolling photos. Obviously, I do want to bring you guys more of those reaction type videos, but I still am away right now. But I should be home in time for the next sneak peek, unless they drop one like right now or today, then I might not be able to get a video out, but I'm hoping that my next videos should be those back to those reaction videos. So without further ado, let's jump into discussing demonic Dahlia, which I think I'm saying right, but correct me if I'm wrong. But this is absolutely the type of prop that I live for from Spirit Halloween. I love the possessed props, as most of you guys know, and this is definitely one of those that hits it for me. Bloodthirsty Betty was previously my favorite. This one is pretty much up there with her right now, and I think it's really going to depend on how these all look in stores, because I think Bloodthirsty Betty might be a little bit smaller than I'm really hoping for. So this one may end up being my favorite from the year. You guys know it really does change when you see them in person for the first time. Your opinions definitely change, but I absolutely love this type of animatronic. So the animation on this thing is absolutely insane. It goes from a sitting position to a full standing motion. It's a pop-up jump scare, and I don't know if I'm forgetting something. I've only really been looking at Spirit Halloween since like 2014, but I don't recall there ever being a prop that goes from sitting to standing. It's an awesome animation, and I'm so excited to see how I can incorporate it into the haunted house or outside. When she stands up, she is 5.7 feet tall, so it's not a small animatronic, which is great. The other things you're getting is obviously the audio. Now, this is one thing that I probably would tweak a little bit. It's not 100% my favorite. She only has one phrase as far as I can tell, and from the description, which is just, I thought I told you to stay away, or I told you to stay away. And then obviously her maniacal laughter and everything, which is great. Also, one interesting thing is that she does have the scream incorporated into her animation from the Floating Ghost Girl from 2016. I don't know how many of you guys recognize that, but it does have that exact same scream. So that's one thing. If you're using Floating Ghost Girl and her, it might be kind of weird to have the exact same scream on there. I probably won't be using both of them. I'm definitely going to be using this girl. But did think that was kind of interesting that they reused that old scream, which I do absolutely love that scream. I think it's terrifying. It really adds the possessed element. And I guess it's been long enough since they released Floating Ghost Girl to reuse that scream. But the thing about her audio is she does only have that one phrase. I don't think the voice acting is the best on it. I really wish that they had better voice acting, because sometimes it just sounds a little bit cheesy. Eventually it grows on me and it doesn't bother me as much, but right when I hear these audios, sometimes initially I'm just like, ooh, that doesn't sound too great. And that's kind of how I felt with this one. But I think the laughing and the screaming is all fine. I just feel like I told you to stay away. It does sound a bit cheesy the way that it is acted, and I do wish that it had at least another phrase, that it wasn't repeating the same thing over and over, but I guess it is what it is, and at least does fit her pretty well. Now, another thing to note regarding her animation is that she does not have light up eyes, at least according to the video, and I was kind of surprised by that, because the eyes look like they were at least intended or could have lit up, just the way that it has the clear plastic film over it, just with a solid color. It doesn't have any detail or paint on the eyes, so it kind of looks like they would have been able to light up, as you can see in this picture, but they don't. And that did kind of surprise me. I don't really know how I feel about it. I think she would have looked good with both white and red light up eyes, especially red, honestly, I think would have been amazing, just because it's very demonic and dark. But they didn't go with that. And I guess maybe they tested it out and saw that it just kind of looked weird on her. But I personally think that it would have looked all right. I tend to actually like the light up eyes just with the possessed props. I think it adds to them. I would have liked if she had light up eyes that flickered on before she sat up. But I do know that some people don't like them because it makes the props look less lifelike. So maybe that's you and you actually kind of prefer that her eyes don't light up. It makes it more realistic. But you will have to add some sort of a spot or strobe light onto her because otherwise she is not going to have any lights going on. I am at least glad that they didn't go with any detailing in the eyes. I think for a possessed prop like this, just having that solid gray color that looks sunken into the face is all you need because it does make it look more possessed. If they had gone with adding the iris and the pupil in there, I think it would have just been too much and it would have taken away from the effect. So I'm glad they went with that. But again, those eyes just look like they would have perfectly been the kind of eyes they would have light up. And I am surprised that they didn't end up going with that. As far as all the detailing goes, I absolutely love how this thing looks. I think that the gray dress that it's wearing with all the dirt stains is very fitting. The black hair is just right. Also the detailing in the face really gives that possessed look with the wide open mouth. The teeth actually look fairly normal, but they look really realistic, especially in the shot right here. It also has that blood red color all around its lips and those cracks up its cheeks, which are really cool and unique and disgusting, terrifying. Also those sunken in eyes and that stuff dripping down from its eyes is really terrifying. And overall, it all just came together really well. I love this new possessed look that we've never seen before, and I think they brought it together perfectly. It has a terrifying face that when it comes from that sitting position, its head is kind of leaning down. And that's another thing I didn't say is that its head and its arms, maybe not its arms, but its head is facing the ground, and then when it pops up, the head actually whips back, much like Floating Ghost Girl actually with that whipping up motion, just like Floating Ghost Girl does with her arms and her head. And her arms might also kind of come up a little bit, but maybe not. But the head for sure does whip back, and it exposes that terrifying face that the spirit did with this. You can see in this shot that the dress is really long. It creates like a circle on the ground when she fully stands up, and it also looks like her hair might be tied back or something to add some detail. But yeah, overall, this look that Spirit did is awesome. I really, really love it. It's an amazing possessed prop, and it is 100% on my wish list for 2019. The one thing I haven't talked about yet is the price, and Demonic Dahlia is $199.99, so $200 for this girl, and I personally think that that is pretty worth it. It doesn't have a ton of animation, but it does have that one really complex motion, which is going from sitting all the way to standing, and I'm sure there's some really complex parts going on in there. I don't know how that's going to all be working, so I'm really excited to see. Hopefully it's durable. That's one thing we don't really know until we see them in stores and purchase them for ourselves, and then we start to notice which ones don't make it through the year. I have a feeling this might be one of those, but we'll obviously have to wait and see. I won't come to any conclusions yet. But for that animation and for how amazing this girl looks, I do think that $200 is worth it. I think they sold Broken Spine Girl back in 2014 for $200, kind of a similar prop to compare it to. So, we have been noticing prices slowly going up, but if they're selling this at a price point that I would expect them to have sold it for in 2014, I'm not disappointed by it. I could have seen them putting it this year at like $250, so I think $200 is definitely a bargain for this girl. Of course, you can get the 20% off coupons to bring that down just a little bit more. There are some of those down in the description if you do want one, but yeah, I think $200 is worth it for this girl, especially for me because I absolutely love these types of props, so there's no doubt that I'm going to be getting this, and you guys are going to be seeing it on the channel. But yeah, I don't think $200 is too bad at all. So it's not one of the cheapest, but it's also not one of the most expensive from this year. It's pretty much right in the middle, and I would say that it is worth it. So I definitely highly recommend this girl. Can't wait to see her in stores. I'm getting more and more excited to see what those themes are going to be this year. And I don't know if I've told you guys this yet, but what I'm going to try to do is for my very first tour that I'm going to be doing this year at a local store, I am going to try to have not seen the themes at all before that in any videos or posts or anything like that. And I'm going to try to just absolutely surprise myself walking into the store because I think that's going to really add to the experience and make the video more exciting to watch. So hopefully that ends up being a success. It just might not be because once those themes get confirmed, people are setting them all around. But I'm going to try to do that. And like I said, I can't wait to see what they're going to do, how they're going to incorporate all of these possessed props. We really didn't get many possessed props last year at all. I guess the closest thing we had to that was Lost Her Way and Double Trouble. I wasn't a huge fan of Double Trouble for some reason. So anyways, I'm really glad that they are doing more of those this year. And so far with Bloodthirsty Betty and this girl, I'm satisfied for 2019. I don't even need anything else. If this was it, I'd be pleased. But anyways, guys, that is all I have to say about Demonic Dahlia. I'm super happy with this release. I really am just pleased with every release so far from Spirit Halloween. I know I said that in my last video, but this one added on to that. I just love all of these new props. There hasn't been one that I've been upset with or thought was bad, and so far I'm pretty much buying the entire store. I guess we're going to have to see what else they have to release, but we're coming towards the end of July. We're, I guess, about 2/3 in at this point, so I'm curious as to how much more they have waiting for us, but it's going to be a really exciting year. All right, guys, there will be a link to my Instagram, like I said in the beginning of the video, down in the description if you guys want to check out more content from me. There will also be a Spirit Halloween link down in that description, and if you buy anything on that link, including Demented Dahlia, if you guys want to go ahead and check her out, anything you buy on that link will help out me and the channel, and of course, there will also be that 20% off coupon up to date down in the description to make these prices a little bit less scary. At the very bottom of the description, there will also be a link to the HTJ Halloween merch shop. If you guys wanted to check out some HTJ designs, I would just greatly appreciate it if you checked it out. All right, guys, I hope you all are having a great day. Stay tuned and subscribed for the next sneak peek videos, and I will see you guys next time.